very much. I'm so pleased and privileged to join you all here today. It's especially exciting for me because we are coming off a year of major transformation within IBM's finance organization that I wanted to share with you. I know Diksha has already shared a bit of a background on me, but over the course of my career, I have held various leadership positions across IBM in finance focused on strategy and operational financial management, the last being as CFO for Asia Pacific and China for global business services. Now, question is why transformation and why transform? I know I was listening to my fellow panelists on cost optimization, and the need for in a very dynamic environment is obviously that finance as an organization needs to move from traditional enterprise approach to a value creation approach, and hence be the strategic partner which utilizes data to its advantage, create business insights, and enable business decision making for growth and profitability as well. Now, in IBM, we have been continuously transforming the finance organization over the last, I would probably say, a couple of decades. We all know that we have gone through the globally integrated enterprise, which is our support services functions over a period of last 10 to 15 years. And as we did that, we obviously realized vertical process standardization, integrated delivery models, and also you leverage scale of efficiencies, plus the talent pool that's available globally. Obviously, as we went through that journey, we did not only finance, but 11 shared services towers across the organization. And it yielded significant benefits for us in terms of cost savings, spend savings, and process standardization. Now, as we kind of look back after tail end of our phase one of transformation, we started looking towards how do we transform our finance function to be more business partner and drive and enable strategy. We also then did a cost benchmarking against what is the best in class enterprise in terms of E2R. We knew that we still had a way to cover to get to the best E2R in the industry. We wanted to improve controls, compliance, and statutory reporting into our functions, but more importantly, move our finance organization with CFO spending more time with the business on being a strategic partner, enable decision-making, driving growth, utilizing analytics and decision-making. What we did was we looked at all our processes and what our teams were doing across the globe, where they were spending time in value-added activities, non-value-added activities. And what we came about is pretty interesting and insightful. We realized that 50% of the time, our teams were spending time on ad hoc requests that were either coming on just-in-time requirements, as we all would imagine, on a particular report or particular, tax compliance that needs to be done, any requirements that business really wants, which our teams then kind of work that through very quickly in creating those ad hoc reports. 80% of the finance deliverables that we had were of low to medium complexity, which means we were spending time on work that was not adding value to the business. We also realized we had fragmented data and systems across the organization. For example, a ledger is there and a HR database is there. Both are not talking to each other, or a spend is there. And every of those systems have different data structures and data tables, which then don't talk to each other. And also, as we kind of looked into it, 70% of the work was recurring, and there was significant manual processes that existed across the organization. So we started thinking about, what's the best way to take our journey to the next phase on a reimagined finance organization, which is truly a business partner. And we then worked through in the phase two to create an agile, intelligent, and platform-based finance organization structure, which then leveraged agile methodologies where we moved away from a role-based work where, normally in our organizations, we are talking about a spend analyst or a revenue forecasting person or a resource guy. Those traditional roles we eliminated and got the teams together into squads as agile methodology. We also then enabled use of cognitive platforms, which we called as EPM, Enterprise Performance Management, which I'll share with you. But at the end of the day, whole of the approach was to make sure that finance moving away from reporting to data, insights, analytics, which then analyzes what is really happening in the business and enable business to take decision making. I can say it's been an exciting journey, but a few things that became really important as we went through that journey is we had to reimagine our integrated end-to-end workflows, because as we used to operate in a globally integrated enterprise, that had lived itself, and we had tools, technologies, and processes that were available in our new environment, new dynamic environment, which I think there's some echo. Diksha, there's.
You have to turn one of the.
No, I think they are turned off. Let me do that. Is this better now?
Yes, it's fine now.
Okay, perfect. So what? I think it's still there, but.
No, it's all right now, Mr. Shantanu.
I'll leave one. So can you hear me now?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Sorry for the interruption. So as we went through that journey, we had to look at our workflows and redo those workflows in the new environment, looking at significant process transformation. We also integrated enterprise data, digitized, and put it on cloud. We had data curated to leverage AI and analytics and automation. And more importantly, as we went through that exercise, we had to get leadership buy-in and significant change management. Now, we also had to invest significantly in reskilling our employees, because they had to learn the new ways of working and learn the tools and technologies of the future, which means that as we kind of went through that exercise and reimagined our workflows, we did our finance transformation. We realized significant benefits in terms of our processes of productivity gains of around 40%. We also realized as people were working on, say, revenue cost, just a simple process of forecasting where a spend analyst and revenue analyst are talking to each other, we were able to reduce 50% handoffs, and hence we were able to process the work much faster. Cycle times improved because a lot of things were moved to on-demand self-help through use of platforms and agile methodology. And at the same time, what happened was that the satisfaction of the business and the employees improved as well, because of the learning and the time and energy that they were now spending on value-added work than non-value-added work. If I were to go next in terms of how we reimagined our platform, as IBM began investing heavily into AI, hybrid cloud, automation, digitization, analytics for our clients, we leveraged these capabilities end-to-end to streamline our own internal processes. We used our own data across the enterprise to deliver these end-to-end analytics and data to give greater insights to a business. We created enterprise performance management tool, which kind of interlinked all the data sources into one integrated data lake. It was not easy because we had to redo the data structures and the data table across all the finance systems. But what it did was it ended the data chase. It made data availability easier and data analysis easier. It also became one trusted source of integrated enterprise data across multiple user functions, whether it's ledger, sales, spend, resources, utilization, ledger. And again, every industries have different operating parameters, but all of this you can actually put together and really view it in real time, which means that the data then moved from a static, which we are used to at this point in time in our business, where at the end of the month we generate these reports and share it with our business. It ended up becoming a dynamic reporting environment. It also became a very engaging analytical platform-based model, which was available to not only finance teams, but say business or the sales team to look at where and how they need to take decisions on the field, which means that the pace of decision-making improved. Also, what that did was that a lot of the reports that we were creating ad hoc and we were spending significant time and energy, that reduced as well. It took some time for the platform usage to pick up as people got used to it. But then we were able to also use statistics and analytics to do predictive analysis. Now, one thing what we did in our squads as we reimagined that, and we were reskilling our teams, we had to reskill them on tools and technologies as well as a way to do analysis and analytics, whether it is statistics or whether it is any kind of predictive modeling that they need to do, which then improve the satisfaction level of employees as well and drove better business outcomes. Now, obviously, like in any other transformation, we had significant learnings along the way. It was not easy, given the capabilities that we had in different places that we were creating either in intelligent workflows or digitization or leveraging different data structures in hybrid cloud. We were able, one of the biggest challenge was data, and get data into a common data structure, which we were able to create a centralized data lake and standard data taxonomy, which enabled enterprise performance management construct to get built. We also had to build cross-enterprise community with common objectives, with common framework in mind, to make sure that we are not missing out on anything, and we are also creating self-help as well as leadership buy-in from the top. One most important thing, as I said, is I think our teams in terms of the finance, whether it be treasury, tax, AR, accounts payable, financial planning, we are all used to, we are very comfortable with dealing the way we are doing. But then if we've got to change ourselves, we've got to learn and relearn. What we had to do is we had to spend significant time and energy on reskilling our teams. We had dedicated data science and engineering teams, which was supporting capabilities within our teams to build automation and data science skills, which help them to do data analysis themselves, which actually enabled creation of ideas within the business units themselves, within the countries themselves, on the common problems that they were facing, and they were able to templatize it across to be used across the organization. And the most important thing is change management, making sure that we are driving to an outcome and we are staying true to the outcome that we really want, and stay course on our transformation journey. Now, I think just to kind of give you, some examples on how we did it or where it impacted our business. During the month ends and during the course of the month, finance teams spent significant time in creating journals. When we did automation of journals, we were able to save 60,000 labor hours per year across the organization, which again yielded significant benefits over the next 5 years to the tune of around $1.7 million. The other few things which I'll probably say is that during the pandemic, credit became credit and cash as some of my panelists earlier were saying, became really key and important. Our AR management and better insights on our clients who are paying on time or not paying on time or going through difficult situations, we were able to ensure that we are using those analytics to our advantage to improve both credit profile of the new business that we are getting, as well as securing collections. Another example was we put in chatbots for our sales team as they are going out in the market to be able to kind of have a point of view of what is the current margin of the business that they are securing, which then enables them to take right decisions, knowing what the margin profile of the business is going to change, or even approval workflow. Approvals workflow were all automated, which made sure that even while teams are in the field, they are able to leverage the data and analytics and self-help data insights for making these decisions. Now, as I go in terms of, as I look towards the finance organization, I think CFOs can unlock significant value as a next phase from going from support services or globally integrated support services that we have been focused on to really moving to a value-based finance organization, which leverages 4 key tenets: technology, data, people, and reimagined processes. All of these have to come together to make sure that as finance teams put this into place, they are able to shift workloads to more value-added work, and hence spend more time into strategy, driving growth, driving business insights, whether they be margins, whether they be cross-country standardization of processes. And some of the clients who have implemented it, they have seen significant benefits, as you can see, with data and AI at the center of it, in terms of workload reduction or increase in collection rate, reduction in DSO. These are all tangible benefits as we've realized as well as some of our clients have realized. So just to talk through some of the clients that we have brought this to life, we have used intersection of workflows, processes, understanding of the industries to be able to redefine the finance processes and ensure that we are moving towards value than core traditional finance way of working. For PepsiCo, we did SAP and a business model, a target operating model, which enabled 50% cost reduction, number of days to close, which is one of the key things these days where all of us are struggling, or I would say wanting to move or reduce the cycle time to close books, that they were able to reduce. Similarly, during the pandemic, moving from physical invoicing to invoicing was one of the most important requirements of organizations, where we reimagined workflows and did a finance operating model redesign for an electronics manufacturer in APAC. We were able to migrate to 70% invoicing pretty quickly, ensuring that our source to pay workflow realized benefits for the client, as well as very high CSAT scores. For Singapore Airlines, it's a client which is operating in a very cost-conscious industry, both prior to pandemic as well as during pandemic. And we, through our interventions on process outsourcing, have been able to reduce their headcount as well as drive significant cost savings for them, while ensuring that we are driving our processes to 100% compliance as per the requirements. So this is some of the work that we've done for our clients. So with that, I think I just want to end here by thanking you all for giving me this opportunity to share what my experience and exciting journey that we've gone through reimagining the finance organization and redefining the finance organization in IBM. I think it's a journey that we continue to drive through. And obviously, this is a new phase of the finance transformation journey, leveraging IBM capabilities on process data and technologies that we have been able to enable. So thank you very much, and Deeksha.